Talia the Everlasting, A Journey to Remember, written by Christopher Michael Lassen. Chapter 1, The Awakening. I remember a time in my life I didn't think I'd ever see the light of day. The weight of the world was draining me. The pain was like a shifted blade piercing the inside of my heart. Now let me break this down for you. Yes, I'm a 15-year-old boy. You would think, why does he have to go through so much heartache? They have no idea there were demons living in my subconscious, and my soul is lost in the shade of darkness forever. Let me tell you what time I hated the most. School. How it was a living hell. All I wanted to do was show the other boys I could fit in, but they didn't see it that way. I remember I wanted to take this girl I was fancy with to the ball, but later on found out they made her ask me to the dance. Just drove me mad, a feeling of anger I never experienced before. Deep down I knew I liked hurting those who hurt me first, how it turned me insane. Teachers would say how I wasn't qualified or smart enough to learn the materials everyone else was learning at the time. Every night I put my head on a cold pillow and pondered the thought, out of everyone, why do I have to be different? Every night before I sleep, I would pray that maybe one day I could be normal. It's not fair, I tell myself. So truth be told, some say I'm crazy, possibly sick in the head. Yes, that is very true, but wait. What if I told you I had proof? Then what? Now before we get into this subject, I'll have to take you in a period of my life that will sicken you. The darkest places you couldn't possibly imagine. If you continue to go down this path, then your world is about to change forever. I'm no different than Einstein or Martin Luther King. I too possess the capability to change the world, at least for those who are ready to believe again. What if I told you that your fairy tales is real, that I can personally help you unlock your true self? Would you believe me then? There's so much more in life than to walk around with a broken heart from someone who doesn't even see your true potential, who doesn't give you the strength you seek, just a pool of negativity, energy that will consume you whole. Anger slowly starts to rise from my spirit. All I see was black and a voice that says you are mine forever. Now when I was younger, I was beaten by this lady and spent a lifetime in the hospital. At least to me it felt that way. Now in this circumstance, when we sleep, we enter into a dream world. Well, my dream world was hell. Every day Chris would die, and I took over his body, at least part of it, and my name is Archangel Michael. Today I woke up feeling like I've been stuck in a multi-dream world. As I look for the nearest garbage can, feeling like I ate a dinosaur, I look around the room and come to a thought. I say to myself, where am I? This is not my home, as I start to panic, slapping myself to wake up, but nothing seems to happen. Is this real, I ask myself? A soft, beautiful voice that made my heart feel a way it never felt before, as I feel warm hands grab me. Hello, handsome, the voice says. Glad to see you're awake. Are you real, I ask her, as the bottom of my blanket wasn't covered. Yes, she says. You can see on her face she's blushing so big. That gave me a vibe, and from that moment on, I knew I was attracted to her. My name is Leigh. I saved you from a dream you were stuck in. He took your body and I brought you here. Your soul is rare, Leigh says. It has the power to be anywhere at any time. Where am I, Chris says, and don't say anything about the Wizard of Oz or Yellow Brick Road nonsense. We are in my home planet, Talia, as she sipping on something I never seen in my lifetime. What is that, Chris says. Give me a taste. I'm dying of thirst. Chris, Leigh says, do you believe in destiny? No, Chris says, as he looks at her. I believe in my life being shit, like it's always been. We were chosen to be married, Leigh says. Be married to who? I say to her with a chuckle. You're the Prince of Talia. It's time you claim your rightful place on the throne, Leigh says with an aggressive tone. I am no hero, Chris says. I can barely take care of myself, let alone the entire world. I'm sorry, but you have me mixed up with someone else. As I slowly start to walk out of the room, all of a sudden, the magical force wouldn't allow me to exit. Kill her, a voice says in the back of my head. She speaks of half-truths. She cannot be trusted. Kill her now. Obey me as I grab Leah by the throat and grab a knife from under my pillow. As the knife gets closer to her neck, I can feel her soul leave from her body. I can feel her breath leave every time the wind blows on her face. Kill her now, the voice says in the back of my head. All of a sudden, a strong presence took over my body. Stop. Stop at once, he says. You will no longer control his mind. Who are you, Chris says. My name is Michael. I was sent to protect you and help you control your gifts. Let her go, Michael says. I won't ask you again. She is grace. She is here to bring the true you alive. Don't make me hurt you. You hurt me, I say with the utmost confidence. You are here to protect me, Chris says. As that may be, Michael says. I will put you in your place, as he pulls up a chair. Sit. We have much to discuss. So, can Leah see you, Chris says to Michael. Yes, he says. I can show myself to anyone I choose through you, if they believe. So you were saying something about you here to help me with these so-called powers, Chris says, with sweat dripping from his neck from it being hot in the air. So out of everyone in the world, why me, I say to Michael, as I sit back down, slowly. What is so special about me, with depression written all over my confused face? You are the one who will bring all worlds together. This is your birthright, Michael says. This is why Father created you. I have none. I was adopted and never knew who they were. So who are you really? This may sound crazy, Michael says, stressing the subject. I am your future self, millions of years from now, who died in the hospital room when you fell into a coma that very night. When the Dark Lord's witch put her hands on you, I tried to stop you from dying, but it was too late. Think about it, Michael says. You have no memory of where you come from. Your name was Christopher Michael. We are connected through blood. I still don't get it, I say to myself as I start to get frustrated. This is your home planet, your birth planet, you could say. Talia is where you belong. As Michael puts his hands on my shoulders. Everything will be okay, my prince. I will always be by your side, Michael says. Together forever. I give you my word as I get up and walk out at the door. How there is so much hate in the air as I start walking down the hollow graves of the EverLasting. I see the Dark Overlord drop down from the sky. My first time seeing him in person, Chris says. The knife starts to glow and I hear a voice coming from the blade. The sword of sorrows as it starts to shine with energy. Chris, it is time, the sword says. Leah screams at the top of her lungs. Chris, no, he will kill you. You're not ready yet, as she tries to hold me from battle. His wings are dark. I see the lost souls in his eyes. Wait a second, I say, as I look super close. I see a familiar face. Is that my soul? I can see it trapped with all the others. The twin-headed shield cries out with a scream that rose the dead. How the Overlord was powerful. We fight in an epic battle as his sword punctures my heart. You hear Leah scream, no, as she runs towards me. This day I knew what her true form was as she breaks free from her flesh. She says, my name is Leah, the everlasting dragon. Let him go before you meet your fate, the dragon says to the Overlord. He swallows Chris whole. Fire starts coming down from the sky. The moon turns purple. The water turning into steam covers the Overlord. Chris tries to find his body. I know it is in here somewhere, he says to himself. I see all the souls in his belly. I break them free one by one. I hear a voice. Help me. My son needs me, the voice says. Save yourself, he says. Forget about me. Tell my son that I love him, and I'm sorry that I let him down. No, Chris says. We are going to get you out of here, Chris says to his body. Who is we, he says. My friend Michael. He is here to help. Chris, I'm sorry, but if you take your body right now, then we lose any chance of understanding the Dark Lord's true plans. If your body hits your soul right now, then Talia will be lost in chaos for all time. Michael breaks us free. I tell my body that I will be back. I promise, as tears start dropping from both of our faces. Suddenly, the ground starts to shake as I feel this powerful rage I never felt before to this very moment. It is clear to me now as my body falls to the ground and my bones feel like nails on a chalkboard. I feel them breaking. You can see the sky get bright with the light of everlasting. Wings so magnificent you'd only hear about them in myths or folklore. Chris, get up, Leah roars as I rise up on my 2 feet with body armor covering me from head to toe. The sword of sorrow speaks to me as it lifts me off the ground, headed to the universe. Space, how I miss you, my old friend. As I look down at the Dark Lord, racing to cut the head off the legendary serpent, the blood running down from the blade, how the smell drives me to want to kill. I am the prince, and you will no longer have control over Talia. Release you as my blade splits open his heart. Then swoops Leah, biting the head off the snake-like beast. Good job, Michael says, as he sees Leah transform back into her original self. She's hurt, Chris says, as he sees her fall to the ground. As I switch over to her, I need the kiss of everlasting to save her. Leah, I say, in her ear, I don't know how it's possible, but something's telling me to love you, to trust you. I miss you, my princess. Please wake up. Come back to me. I miss you, my princess, he says again. Leah, as he gently touches her face, I love you. Leah made a deal with the devil to spare your soul, Michael says. Wait, what? No, Chris says. I accept my destiny, Michael. Please, do something. I beg this of you. Bring her back, Chris says, as tears start running down his face. Chris starts to throw stuff in the room. Her soul is lost, Michael says. She's gone. I'm truly sorry, with fright in his voice. You said you would help me, as Chris pushes Michael. Now look what you did. My wife is dead. She's not your wife, Michael screams to Chris. At least she's not yet. Yet I know this hurts, but in time you will get over it. She told me to tell you she will find her way back to you in a time of great need. I'm sorry, brother, but if we need to leave now, the ruler of the vampires is looking for you. He wants the sword for himself. Let's go at haste as they swoosh off into the night. Dear Father, I say, help me find my way back to Leah. I miss the way her warm hands felt touching me on a chilly evening. I don't even know this woman. Oh, Father, how you are great. I hope this message reaches you. I swear wherever they have you, prisoner, I will find you, with the help of your son, Michael. In your name I pray. Amen. As Michael walks into the room, he says to Chris, What are you doing? I was praying to Father, Chris says. What did he say? Michael asks. Nothing yet, Chris says, as he looks at him. I wonder where Father is at this very moment. I have no clue, Chris says, as they're eating on the finest food and drinking wine from golden glasses. You're drunk, Chris, Michael says to him. Slow down before you lose control. I know what I am doing, Michael, he says, nor may I listen to the words that stumble out of your mouth. I lost the princess because I listened to you. I could have saved her if not for you. This is all your fault, Chris screams at the top of his lungs. Leave me be, friend, with an asshole tone, looking sideways at Michael. Let me howl alone. If you need me, Michael says, I will be here as he swishes off into the night. As I'm passed out with a bottle in my hands, I can feel the pain of 1,000 souls running through my veins. I felt like I let everyone down. I even let myself down as I pick up a knife. I tell myself maybe I should just end it all. Maybe then I could be with my love, Leah. She gave her life for mine. But for what? As a tear starts running from my eye. To be honest, I don't even have anyone because I was selfish in my ways. I think it's time to kill myself and this end everything. Everyone will be better off in the end. I hear a voice. It says, "My child, I sense so much grief in you. Is your life so bad that you would go so quick to end it all? If so, then I won't stop you. My boy, there is so much you haven't learned yet. The pain you're feeling right now is only part of what's going to transform you into who you truly are." Chris stands up with the knife in his hands. He says, "You speak of so much riddles. You talk to me like we are familiar. As if you walk around in my shoes," Chris says. "Your shoes?" The voice laughs with a smirk. "Try walking in my shoes. You feel like you were walking with the devil himself on a Monday morning." Chris says, "To be honest, I want to die because the love of my life is dead. It is all my fault," Chris says with sadness. "I was supposed to save her, but I couldn't even save myself. I'm so tired of being the one who falls, who isn't good enough to protect the ones I care about. So yes, I feel deep down I'm the reason why she is no longer among us." The voice says, "Did you put the blade in her?" Chris says, "No." The voice says, "Then therefore you didn't kill her. So therefore it is not your fault, my son. Things happen for a reason, not because we want them to, but because life requires a balance. Leah's soul is no longer here, and she has awoken in your other life." Chris says, "How do I get her back?" "You don't," the voice says. "She will find her way back to you in a time of great need." "Yeah, Michael was saying something about that too." "Michael," the voice says. "He's alive. He is my greatest angel in my army. I haven't heard from him in many moons." "Chris, I have a message for you," the voice says. "What is it?" I say, speaking with confusion. "Tell Michael that in order to rescue me, he needs to speak with Lizzie." "Who is Lizzie?" Chris says, but the voice is gone. He shouts, "Who is Lizzie?" as he walks out of the church. "I love you, Leah. I'm going to find a way to bring you back. My princess, I promise you, I will find my way back to you," as he finishes the bottle, throwing it down as the glass breaks. "Michael, I must speak with you at once." As Chris turns around, you see him. "What's wrong?" Michael says. "I just got done talking to Father. He said for you to save him, you must speak with someone named Lizzie." "Who is Lizzie?" "Me and her go way back," Michael says. "I know where we must go." "Hey, I'm sorry," Chris says to Michael. "I know you're just trying to help," as he gives Michael a hug. "It's okay, brother. Nothing will break our bond. Now come, maybe she will know where the vampire lord is." A place of dark energy. Bats light up the grave. You see a castle-like house on the top of the hill. As I'm walking towards the house, I hear someone crying. "I'm sorry. I'm sorry," the voice says, as you hear screams coming from the house. "I'm sorry for letting this happen. I let the ancestors down." All you can hear are screams coming from a girl who lost her heart. "Get up before I compel you to do my laundry," she says. "Haven't you caused enough pain in your rule for power? Isn't your saying family first no matter what, always and forever?" "I haven't heard those words in a very long time," he says. "Stop trying to talk to distract me. We need to find a way out of this place," he says with concern. The great Timothy Michael, scared to be stuck in a prison. That's the first for me. "Grow up," she says, as she giggles. Timothy picks her up by her throat and looks into her eyes. "From this moment, you will no longer have any regulation of who you are. Find a way out of here at once before the next to die will be a witch," as he throws her across the room. As she starts doing magic to summon the spirits, but nothing happens. "The ancestors are gone. I can no longer do magic here. We are truly doomed," she says. Suddenly, the doorbell rings. "Don't say a word," Timothy says as he whooshes behind her. "Open it," he says. "Hello, my name is Chris." She says, "Who are you? How did you find this place?" "There's a locator spell put on this forbidden place. I need to find the Lord of Vampires. I have a message for him, Chris says, and I'm here to help. I have the power to travel here. Magic has no effect on me, Chris says, as the doors get slammed in my face. Whoa, what a dick, I say to myself, as I start to walk in the back, because I'm sure there's a back door. There's always a back door. I see a bat-like creature. He looked like the creatures I see on television or the movies, but in person it's so much more spectacular. Who are you? I ask. My name is Timothy, as he flies to the ground and transforms back into his original form. With a book in his hands, The Diaries of a Vampire. How interesting, Chris says. He comes to me and tries to compel me to tell him my true intentions. As he says, he has been betrayed many moons ago. They took everything Timothy cherished. His magic seems to have no effect over me as I tell him to stop. Your games, little boy. Stop wasting my time. I tell Timothy as I throw him across the field. Your power. I never felt a power like that in all my time. Who are you again? Timothy says. My name is Christopher Michael, heir to the throne of Talia, my birthright. Do you know where you are at? He says to Chris. Yes, the Forbidden Zone, Chris speaks with a silence, so he doesn't wake the ancestral spiritual grounds. This is a place of all bad supernatural creatures come when their bodies are taken by the darkness. The evil powers they call the universe, or the Grim Reaper. In some stories, they call him the Dark Lord, Timothy says, as he looks at Chris. His name is the Dark Overlord, Chris says. He steals people's bodies. This is why you can see him. My gifts allow me to be anywhere at any given time, and I'm here to help. We had a brother who died millions of years ago. What is your real name? It is Michael. Brother, it's good to see you, as Michael's soul comes out of Chris. We are looking for a witch who goes by the name of Lizzie, Chris says. She is part of saving Leigh from the wrath of the Overlord, Chris says as he looks at Timothy. What are you doing here? Timothy says to Michael. I'm here to help Chris tap into his true form. Chris is every spiritual being that died. His destiny is to bring all worlds together and rule as king over Talia. But first he has to save his body and his lost love's body from darkness. Lizzie, come here, Timothy says. I compel you to remember as he looks into Lizzie's eyes. Hello, my name is Lizzie. I am a witch. I come from a special African tribe called the Protectors of the Promised Land. I will rise and wait for somebody named Chris. The Promised Land is his kingdom in Talia. I know I shall rise alongside it who brings all worlds together. Where is Leigh? As Chris sheds a tear. She died to protect me from the Overlord. How do you know, Leigh? Chris says as he's trying to stop crying. I'm her half-sister Lizzie. As Chris gives her a hug, I look into Lizzie's eyes and ask, will you help me bring her back? I love Leigh. We are somehow connected to be married. So if you're Christopher Michael, the one who carries my brother Michael. Hello, Sister, Michael says with joy. You haven't changed one bit. Little sister, we need you guys to help us save Leigh from the Dark One, Michael says. Where is Father? Lizzie says. He's trapped in the Dark Overlord's prison. He tricked Father. We have to save him, Michael says. Break these chains with the Sword of Sorrows. That's the key. That is why the Overlord wants you. To have the power of all the spiritual items. He already holds the twin-headed shield. Actually, brother, I have retrieved the twin-headed shield when I defeated the Dark Lord's snake form and took the shield. I think this belongs to you, brother, the lost twin-headed shield of Talia. You truly are the chosen one, Timothy says. How may I be at your service? My prince, Timothy humbly says. I know what my destiny is, but I have to save Leigh. I promised my body that I'd save him first. I believe Leigh will come back when I'm ready, Chris says with a grace on his face. Let's go kill the Overlord, Chris speaks with power and smoke coming out of his nose. All hail the chosen one, Lizzie says. All for one is all we got, Michael says as they all switch out of the forbidden zone. I love you, Leah. I promise I will find my way back to you, with a tear running down his eyes. Morning is upon the Talia people this wonderful day. Good morning, sexy, Lizzie says to Chris. I'm glad to see you're in a better mood. Did you sleep well, my prince? She says. Funny, for a second, it sounded like Leah's voice. Am I hearing things? Oh, how I miss her when she tells me good morning. I miss Leah so damn much. It isn't funny, as I'm sipping on morning tea. Timothy walks into the room. Drink up, Chris, Timothy says, as he smiles. Today starts your training, so be ready, as Timothy tries to snatch the tea from out of my hands. Too slow, I say to Timothy, as I whisk into the living room. Catch me if you can, old man. I'm glad to see them getting along, Michael says to Lizzie. He needs to know the truth, Lizzie says, as she looks in Michael's eyes with utter despair. I know, baby sister, as he looks back at her. Let him have his fun and a couple of days of rest. I promise I'll tell him 3 moons from this very night. There's 3 rules in battle, Timothy shouts across the arena. Rule 1, know thy enemy. Rule 2, fight for something you truly believe in. And Rule 3, as he stabs me in my lower chest. This rule I can't stress enough, Timothy says. Never turn your back on your enemy. If you do, then you die, as Timothy throws me on the ground. Chris, focus your mind, Timothy states out loud. Let it guide you and your brain waves together. You are all as you are one. You must believe you are chosen for more than what your eyes have already bared witness to. Stand up, Chris. The Michaels never lose hope. I didn't become the vampire lord off mere luck or my good looks, Timothy shouts. No, Timothy says. I became him when I opened up my true self and believed it was my destiny. I, too, didn't think it was possible. Oh, how they would use me for the selfish gain, Timothy mutters to Chris. No more feeling weak. As of this day, claim your power, your birthright, Timothy says, as he smiles at Chris. Become the beast. Speak the very words into existence. You, just like me, are half vampire and half wolf. You killed the Dark Lord's snake form, which triggered the curse, Timothy says. On the 3rd full moon, you will turn as Timothy looks at his eyes deeply. Have you heard of the half-sister? Which one, Chris says. Your real one, Timothy mutters. Your real half-sister. Her name is Karma. Only in legend and bedtime stories does she exist. She's one of those overlord's minions. She lost her voice because she said she loves you, Timothy says in discomfort. I'm sorry, brother. Souls of the everlasting, moans from the dead. So much pain, so much chaos, fire surrounding the area. The one who will save all worlds is among us. I want his power for my own, the Dark Lord says with rage. Kill him, the Great One, a voice says in the shadows. Give me a pretty coin, and I'll do it for you, the voice says. He cannot die, you fool, the Dark Lord says, at least not by your hands. Don't you worry about your little man-child, the voice says, smiling. By the time I'm done, he will wish he was dead. You have a deal, and don't go letting me down, the Dark Lord says, or it will be you, the one I feast upon, as he disappears into the darkness. What is this creature, you might ask? Well, that, my friends, you should keep reading on. You are in for a little treat. Now that I told you guys about the book I'm writing, I pray one day to be true. How strong the love they share between them is rare nowadays. Oh, how I'm jealous. But I too, Michael, have shared great love and loss when it comes to the female soul. Her name is Mayana Khalees, Michael says. The devil took her from me because I sold my soul to him a long time ago. I had to deal with depression, dwelling in my failures, mistakes others would place upon me. I broke free of it, finally, out of the cage of the forgotten. But back then, he had my body trapped for 24 years. In your time, 5 million years of mine. It felt like an eternity. Well, I know you guys want more story, so where was I at? Oh, yes. That feels good in my belly, she says, as she moans for the Dark Lord. Don't stop. Fuck me harder, she says, as she throws it back on him. I'm about to come as he comes inside her. Now continue to spy on Chris and the others, the Dark Lord says. Let me know what they're up to. You are my bitch, and you will do what I commanded you, the Dark Lord says. Yes, as she slips back on her robe. I'll find out the information you request. I won't let you down, she says. Good, my little sex slave, the Dark Lord says. Your pockets will be mite compared to the others. We will rule as king and queen together with you by my side. Chris will meet his fate, and me, the Dark Lord, with the Sword of Sorrows, will rule over Talia. This place could use a woman's touch, she says. Now come cuddle me to sleep. She says, in the morning, I will go on your little quest, but for now, rest, my king. I'm gonna go clean off in a tub of sins, Chris tells everyone. I will see you guys later. Man, this bath feels amazing, as I splash water on my face, thinking about Leah. How I wish she was here. Lizzie says, may I join you? Her body I never seen out of clothes. My insides shiver. Sure, I guess, I say. I want to tell you that I'm here for you, Lizzie says to Chris. I always knew I'd find my way back to you. We was destined, Lizzie says, as she licks her lips. Is it getting hot in here, or is it just me, she says, as she takes the rest of her clothes off. What are you doing, Lizzie? I love your sister, Chris says. This isn't right. As she touches my leg, we are meant to be together, my prince, but maybe now is not the best time. But I know you will pick me, handsome, as she rubs my head and kisses me on the lips. I'll always be here for you, through these bad times, Lizzie says. Together we can do great things. Give it time, Chris. You'll come to find that we are more than alike than you think, as she gets out of the tub of sins. I get out and dry off as I get sleepy because I haven't slept in 3 days due to saving the world. I think it's time for a nap. Hours later, I feel a feeling I used to get a lot of. How I haven't felt that feeling. As I say, keep going, Leah. As she says, I'm going to take your soul with my lips. As Chris moans, stop. This isn't right, Lizzie. You tricked me. Nobody has to know, she says. Just pretend I am Leah. That is your sister, I say. She fucked one of my best friends. So slip it in, or I'll scream the princess of perv. I want to feel the everlasting power, my beautiful man. Chris says no. I am saving my seed for my future wife. I cannot commit such acts of deceit. Where is she at now? Lizzie says. Not here. As she slides it in her. She says, how big you are, my prince. You're definitely fit to be king. No, get off as I try to force her off of me. Stop at once. I demand you. I demand you to smack my cheeks, she says, as she's riding like she's in a race to the finish line. As her hands touch my face, I start to give in, and I like the way it feels. Lizzie whispers in my ear, take me in the sack and make love to me as we're in the air. A feeling of fear hits my gut. I never felt more alive in my life as she's sucking on my neck with such hostility. Do you like that? She says as I'm behind her, penetrating her walls. I say, keep going. I never want to lose this feeling again, she whispers. Come inside me. I want to have your baby. I tell her no as I push her off, but she is too strong for me. She weakens me. Come, now, my prince, as she commands it. No, I say, stop it. No, no, I scream, with humiliation on my face. Good boy, Lizzie says. I feel your seed inside me growing. I love you, Chris. Now come cuddle me to sleep, my handsome prince. Soon you will be king, as she rests on my chest. Fast asleep. I'm sorry, Leah. Please forgive me, he tells himself. I'll find you soon, I promise. Don't be mad, my queen. I wake up hoping what happened was some sick dream, but as I see Lizzie laying next to me, I know this to be true. She wakes up and says, "Hello, Overlord. I mean, my prince," she says, as she's trying to act confused. "We speak of this to no one, not even Michael. Swear to me, Chris. As long as this never happens again, I swear it. I won't speak a word," Chris says with relief. "Good," she says, "and they may have it whenever I want," she says, "and the baby we raise together will be powerful indeed." "I thought you were joking when you said you could feel me inside you." "No, silly," Lizzie says. "I seen it. We will have a beautiful, healthy girl." Chris smiles with hope, but he still feels bad for betraying Leah. How he feels guilty for ever laying eyes on her sister. Sour water running. As I look back on my life and my past mistakes, I say I forgive myself and I let the pain go of the horrible deed I participated in. How I will never put myself in that situation again. I pray she doesn't have my child because it belongs to Leah. She's good, and her sister, well, let's just say if Lizzie wants something, she's gonna take it. A voice whispers in a tone. "Chris, Leah," I say, "is that you, my love?" "You forgot about me," she says, with sadness. "You forgot about our love, Chris. How could you?" As she cries, so loud that it breaks the glass of the window. "You promised me you would save me. You told me that you loved me," she says. "You will pay for your hateful acts," Leah screams. "You will be sorry for leaving me." "I'm sorry, my love. I didn't mean to. She tricked me." "Are you spying on me?" I say, with hostility in my voice. "I thought you died." "Hello," I say, as I hear complete silence. "Chris, Chris, don't leave me. I need you," as the sound drifts away. "What have I done?" I say, hitting the mirror as I can feel it break in my hand. "What have I done? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry," with a lonely, quiet tone. "I'll find a way to make this right, my love. I'm coming to save you. Don't give up," as I get up off the floor and clean myself off. Michael says to Chris, "My brother, please hurry. I know where we must travel to next." Chris says with tears in his eyes, "And where is that?" "To go save Leah." Lizzie gives me a dirty look. "No, Chris, we need to go to the island of the gods," she says. "So go get your sea legs. We're going on an adventure of a lifetime." "Okay," Chris says with frustration. "At least can we go save her after we get back? I promised her I will be there for her." Lizzie looks like she's about to cry, and she says, "You worry about the dead, yet don't pay attention to the living." "What about me?" Lizzie says. "She was my sister. If anyone should grieve over her death, it shall be me," Lizzie says, looking at Chris and smiling, saying, "You will always have me in your corner. Come, let's get this quest over with," as they all get ready to leave. A sound comes from the townhouse. "Good, keep following Chris. I will have something in store for him in the Garden of the Gods," the voice says. "Ha ha." So it begins.